Can we carbon date a human? Okay, measuring carbon-14 level in human tissue could help forensic scientists determine age and year of death of cases. Carbon is one of the most important chemical elements. Along with hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur, carbon is a building block of biochemical molecules ranging from fats, proteins, and carbohydrates to active substances such as hormones. So what is carbon dating? The carbon-14 method was developed by the American physicist Willard Libby about 1946. It has been proved to be a versatile technique of dating fossil fuels and archaeological specimens from 500 to 50,000 years old. How is carbon-14 formed? Also known as radiocarbon dating, carbon-14 dating is a method used to determine age that depends upon the decay to nitrogen of carbon-14. You see, nitrogen is found in the air in about 78%. It has 7 proton and 14 atomic mass. The neutrons combine with nitrogen in the atmosphere. In this reaction, nitrogen loses 1 proton, remaining with 6 protons instead of 7. The new formed element is no longer nitrogen, it is carbon-14. So carbon-14 is formed in the nature in a continuous manner by the interaction of neutrons with nitrogen-14 in the Earth's atmosphere. The neutrons required for this reaction are produced by cosmic rays interacting with the atmosphere. Humans are around 70% water by mass and 20% carbon, and the most common in our body is carbon-12. The carbon-14 goes to the oceans, air, and absorbed by green plants on land in a process called photosynthesis. We get carbon-14 by eating the plants through the food chain. You see, during the lifetime of any organism, carbon is brought into the cell from the environment in the form of either carbon dioxide or carbon-based food molecules such as glucose, then used to build biological important molecules such as sugar, proteins, fats, and nucleic acids. These molecules are subsequently incorporated into the cells and tissues that make up living things. Therefore, all organisms from a single cold bacteria to the largest of the dinosaurs leave behind carbon-based remains. So how is carbon-14 used to determine the age of a fossil? Radiocarbon decays slowly in living organisms, and the amount lost is continuously replenished as long as the organism takes in air or food. Once the organisms die, however, it ceases to absorb carbon-14, so that the amount of carbon-14 in its tissues steadily decreases. Okay, and then what happens? Look, while carbon-12 is the most abundant carbon isotope, there is a close to constant ratio of carbon-12 to carbon-14 in the environment, and hence in the molecules, cells, and tissues of living organisms. This constant ratio is maintained until the death of any organism. When the plant or animal die, they stop absorbing. Hence, carbon-14 stops being replenished, but the radioactive carbon that they have accumulated continues to decay. At this point, the overall amount of carbon-14 in the organisms begins to decay exponentially. Therefore, by knowing the amount of carbon-14 in the fossil remains, you can determine how long ago an organism died by studying the departure of the observed carbon-12 to carbon-14 ratio from the expected ratio of a living organism. Are there limitations on carbon-14 dating? Yes, the older the object, the less carbon-14 there is to measure. Carbon-14 dating is therefore limited to objects that are younger than 50,000 to 60,000 years or so. But who can live that long? Okay, let's continue. Can we carbon date a human? Measuring carbon-14 level in human tissue could help forensic scientists determine age and year of death of cases involving unidentified human remains. Archaeologists have long used carbon-14 dating to estimate the age of certain objects. So how is half-life used in carbon dating? Every 5,730 years, the radioactivity of carbon-14 decays by half. That half-life is critical to radiocarbon dating. Since carbon-12 doesn't decay, yep, it doesn't. It's a good benchmark against which to measure carbon-14's inevitable diminishes. The less radioactivity a carbon-14 isotope emits, the older it is. As simple as that. So how much does it cost to get something carbon date? Well, It ranges from 300 to 450 US dollars. Can carbon-14 be used in metals? Carbon-14 is a weakly radioactive isotope of carbon, also known as radiocarbon. It is an isotope chronometer. Carbon-14 dating is only applicable to organic and some inorganic materials. So answering the question, no, it's not applicable to metals. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give a like and don't forget to subscribe for more videos every week. Take care and stay safe. Don't forget to share. Please. I know you will, because you always do. Okay, thank you.